Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, The Holistic Nomad. My name is Mark. This is my video blog for my 3-day water fast. This is purely for documentation. I don't recommend anyone to do this without proper guidance, proper knowledge, especially if you're taking medications. It can be dangerous, so please be mindful. This is purely my experience, and everyone can have their own very unique experience while doing a water fast, especially a prolonged one. So do your research before you embark into a water fast, and I hope you enjoy the journey that I went through as much as I did. Take care.
All right, so here we go. First day, first meal, well, lack of first meal on a 3-day water fast. Obviously don't feel too bad right now. Anybody can miss one meal and feel okay. But I'll keep you posted. Alright, so I'm approaching my dinner time on my first day. It's around 4:30. I usually have dinner around this time. I'm definitely feeling that hunger as my body's used to eating at this time. But it hasn't been too bad. I have felt the hunger. It sets in, then it goes away. Usually after it goes away, you kind of feel pretty good. My stomach's just been feeling like it's been digesting and just kind of like resting when it was expecting food. So that's been really interesting. I have done a 24-hour fast. It was probably closer to a 34-hour fast because I didn't eat until the morning. I didn't want to break my fast at night. I wanted to break it in the morning. But this experience hasn't been too bad yet. I'm sure tomorrow is going to be a different day. I do feel a little weak, just not running on carbohydrates, right? Just running on getting off the sugar, getting onto fats. There's going to be an adjustment point. But for my first day, it's not too bad. I'm assuming that, and of course this is an assumption, that the remainder of the night is going to be kind of like a typical night. I usually do a 16-8, so after 4 o'clock I don't eat until 8 o'clock the next morning. So usually by the end of the night I feel like I should be eating, just because I had a bad habit of getting myself into a snacking mode at the end of the night. That's silly. I would wake up and my stomach would be upset, or I'd wake up ravenous, just I could eat the whole fridge. So this is going to help get rid of those cravings, I'm sure. Just break those habits and allow me to just be okay with not eating after dinner time. So maybe I'll check in once more before going to bed tonight, and if I don't, I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright, so here we go, day 2. I'm technically halfway through. I'm approaching my 40-hour point. Looking forward to having some food, because I'm thinking about it every 5 to 10 minutes, like, oh, I should go make some food. It is a very funny thing when you deprive yourself of something like as staple as food that you do every day, and maybe unconsciously, that when you step away from it, it occupies your mind so much. It's been a really interesting process through it all. But I haven't had the headache, which is something that I'm really surprised about. I really thought that was going to happen. So not having the headache has been really interesting, because the last time I did a 24-hour fast, I got that headache right about at that 24-hour point. So now I'm approaching almost double that time. I feel fine. I definitely feel a little weak, just because my body hasn't really adapted to it yet. I believe it takes a few days. So I may actually not even get that feeling of really diving deep into ketosis. I may actually go get some strips a little bit later just to see if I'm actually burning ketones, if I've entered ketosis. So we'll see how the morning goes, and it's going to be very restful for me. A lot of people don't get that opportunity to really rest throughout the experience, and they keep going. And I really think that I'm lucky that I have 3 days off to just rest and let my body repair and do what it needs to do throughout this whole process. So maybe that's why I don't have a headache. Maybe that's why I don't feel like completely drained. I feel like I could still go about normal things like doing groceries and stuff and doing my laundry and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's going to be a really interesting last half of it. I'm really looking forward to it, and making me curious about longer fasts like 7 and 10 days and even 21 and 40 days. Might be something I really want to dive into. Who knows? We'll see. Alright, so I'm approaching lunchtime on my second day. This has definitely been the most challenging it's been so far. I really want to have lunch. I'm looking forward to the hunger pains to go away from this meal. I'm sure lunchtime or dinner time is not going to be much better. It's progressively getting a little bit harder, but I'm just trying to stay calm and try to stay relaxed. Have noticed that I'm getting a little bit of the hunger shakes, and it makes me question how far into ketosis I actually am. I called around to a health food store and a pharmacy to see about ketone sticks. I'm gonna go pick some of those up just to see how far into ketosis I actually am. So I'll see you guys later. Hi guys, end of day 2, just chilling on the couch. Been doing a lot of resting today with this little one right here. Don't feel too bad, definitely low energy. Gonna be going to bed soon. Check my weight in the morning and check my ketones in the morning, see how I'm doing. Definitely not as hard as I thought it would be. Hunger definitely comes in waves. After a while you don't even think about it, even though like 10 minutes ago I was starving. It's a really funny thing. But just been living on my water. Staying hydrated and just taking it easy. Looking forward to tomorrow and seeing what it brings. Have a good night. All right, beginning of day 3. Last night was a rough night. I didn't sleep very well. I felt my stomach digesting quite a bit last night and actually had my first bowel movement since I started fasting. This morning, my stomach feels pretty good now, but last night was definitely a challenge. I'm looking forward to the end. Actually, it's getting, you know, a little much. I was, when I was first planning this detox, I was playing with the idea of seeing how I felt on day 3 to see if I would continue into day 4 and day 5, maybe do a week-long fast. But I'm definitely going to be breaking my fast tomorrow morning. I highly doubt I'll do that tonight. I don't want to break it at night, because that's the habit I really wanted to break, was that late night snacking. So I'm gonna just make it through until tomorrow morning, and hopefully it goes well. I've lost a little bit of weight consistently. I'll give you guys the numbers at the end of this video, just so you can see the progression of how it happened for me. And yeah, I'm going to go in, have my breakfast of water, and just see how the day goes. We'll talk to you soon. Alright, so lunchtime, day 3. I actually feel not too bad right now. Don't really have much of a hunger. I did test myself earlier. I'm in full ketosis and right maxed out. So that's a good sign. So I'm definitely using fat stores to fuel myself, so I don't feel that hunger like it was this morning for sure. My stomach's actually been feeling really good. I hear and feel a lot of stuff going on. This is definitely a good sign, considering I haven't eaten in getting close to the 72-hour point in probably about 6 hours. So I'm about hour 54 or 64 rather. So I am looking forward to having food for sure. The taste and the comfort you get from food is like nothing else, and I'm sure that's why a lot of people have a hard time if their addiction of choice is food, and you see it everywhere. So I totally relate to food in a different way. Going through this experience of more appreciation for what you actually get when you do get it, and my appreciation for good healthy food. I've also been studying a lot into nutrition, into how the body absorbs it and all that kind of stuff, and it's just fascinating what your body goes through just to bring in nutrition to keep you alive and well, and the body really wants you to do well. So we need to create those environments for it, and I do believe that these fasts in moderation, you definitely don't want to overdo it. I do want to experience longer fasts, but after doing this, I don't think I'd go. I'd probably give myself at least another 6 months before I would attempt another 3-day fast, and probably give myself another year if I was to attempt a 7-day fast. So definitely an amazing tool to experience. I really look forward to seeing how I feel once I've refeeded with good, really high nutritious food. I think I'm just going to experience a different kind of energy from my food that I've never experienced before, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like. There's just so much about this that I just find so fascinating. I'm really enjoying the process. Yes, not eating is very challenging. I find myself all the time just like, oh, that would be so amazing right now, and it could be the most simplest thing that I would eat in a hurry, like an apple or a pear or something like that. It's really interesting. So I'm excited to be in it for this long, and I'm also excited to see the end of it. So I don't know, it's pretty cool. So we'll see how I'm doing after my regular dinner time. With this fast, I happened, just because of the holidays start at 7 p.m. on the Thursday night, or I believe it was a Thursday, doesn't matter. on the specific night that I finished at 7 p.m. I could technically break my fast tonight at 7 p.m. with a broth. And as tempting as that is, I don't want to do it at night. I want to do it in the morning with a regular breakfast. And not that the food is going to be regular, but just my regular feeding time. And I've also been doing 2 months of intermittent fasting before all of this. I may mention that earlier, but intermittent fasting has helped me a great deal in getting my bad habits under control. But I'm really hoping that this is just going to break it, and when those moments arise in the evenings, that I'm just going to be able to be like, no, I don't need this right now. I'm not hungry. I'm just eating out of boredom or out of something else, like just trying to keep my hands busy, or just because it's comfort while I'm watching a show or something. So I'm really looking forward to the outcome of all of this. So I'll check in with you guys later. See ya. All right, so I'm there. I'm at 72 hours. I've completed my fast, technically 72 hours. I am going to wait until tomorrow morning, which will probably add another 12 hours or so to my fast, but I'm okay with that. As much as I'd love to go and have something to eat right now, I'd prefer to break my fast in the morning to get back into a regular eating habit. I usually do the 16-8, which is from 8 in the morning till 4 p.m. And that itself has been really interesting over the past 2 months. But this 3-day water fast has been really amazing. Feeling myself digest while I haven't had any food for 3 days was very interesting. Today I felt in the afternoon a real calm over my stomach, over my intestines, just digesting, and it just felt so calm and relaxed. It felt so good. Well, my stomach's never actually felt this good in a very long time. So there is some great power to a 3-day fast. I know that the longer you can go, the more benefit there is to it. But I'd really want to be supervised medically with a team, and be in an environment where, fasting for 30 days or so wouldn't be an issue. And if there was an issue, I'd have staff right there ready to take care of me. So with this 3-day fast, I think it's a very powerful way to hit that reset button. I really wanted to experience how different I would feel. I'm sure I'm going to have to wait until I refeed to really get the full spectrum of how I feel with this whole fast. But I'm really looking forward to just seeing how my body comes out of it, and just to feel the sense of energy back in me from absorbing more nutrients from my food, and just having a cleaner digestive system, just to be able to process my food more evenly without any fluctuations in my digestion. Will be really, really good. So yeah, I'm really happy I did this. It was a challenge in the aspect of always, because I'm around food, like the people around me are not going to change their habits. They're not going through the fast, so they don't need to change their habits. So being around food and smelling it, like, you get a different appreciation for how amazing food smells. And I'm sure once I get to taste it again, it's going to be like nothing I've had before, even though I've eaten that food many, many times. I think that everybody that should experience it. And of course, fasting is not for everybody. There is many conditions that you need to be supervised. Even if you're going to do a 16-8, if it comes with medications, if you're on medications, that you really need to talk to your MD to let them know what you're doing and what they recommend for you to do in that kind of protocol. And maybe if you have a really good medical doctor, they'll work a schedule with you, but you may need to go see somebody else for that kind of specific thing. In terms of it being easier, I see myself at 3 days now and going, I would love to have another bowel movement before I reintroduce food into me, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't think going that long unsupervised would be a good idea for me at this point because I'm so new to it. But I'm very surprised that being this far into it, I'd want to extend it further just to have another bowel movement. It's a really interesting thing. But this whole experience has been great, and I'll see you guys in the morning when I'm breaking my fast. So have a good night. It's about 6 a.m. I've been up for about an hour. Pretty rough night. Feeling pretty weak this morning. Day 4 would definitely be the hardest for me so far. I'm looking forward to breaking my fast in about an hour or so. Yeah, I'll see you guys then. The time has come. This is what I'm breaking my fast with. It's an ounce of an apple. So here we go. Oh my God, that is so good. I'm going to go enjoy this. Later. Hi guys, I just wanted to catch up with you after my fast. I'm fully back into my feeding, my regular feeding schedule, which is a 16-8 basically, intermittent fasting. I really do enjoy that feeding window for now. If my goals change in the future on terms if I want to put on more muscle or lose weight, whatever the case may be, I may adjust it. But for now, I'm happy with the 16-8 schedule, so I'm going to stick with that. So my whole take on the fast, now that I'm fully back into my regular feeding schedule, I do find that I have a much greater appreciation for the food that I'm eating. I'm not unconsciously eating anymore, just eating for the sake of filling myself. I'm actually enjoying my food so much more. Taste has just gone through the roof, which is amazing. I always thought food tasted good before, but now it's on the next level. It is quite amazing. One of the interesting things as well from the fast is I'm able to decipher between what is hunger and what is thirst so much more. In realizing when I do need more water. So I do want to say that on that 4th day, I could have broken it in the night. That night was probably the worst, the 3rd night. I had an extreme low back pain. I did not sleep very well. The next day was a little iffy. I was refeeding that day, and the refeeding went well. Took it very slow. Started with a quarter of an apple, and then an hour and a half later I had the last 3/4 of that apple. Waited until my regular lunchtime to have lunch, and it was a small salad. Or sorry, no, not a salad. It was a toast with some nut butter and banana, and it was a little heavy. I should have just gone with maybe just a banana. Bananas can be very heavy. They're not very high in water content, so that was probably a little of poor planning on my part, but I'll know better for next time. And come lunch or dinner time, I had some rice and beans, and it sat very, very nicely. I felt full right up until the next morning, and even the next morning, I was very much looking forward to food because I couldn't wait to get to the taste of it, but it's not like I was ready to eat the whole fridge, which is quite nice because I'm really questioning this whole 2,000 calories that most people need per day. Um, I am going to make a lot more inquiries into it and a lot more research into the body needs in terms of calorie intake per day. But the fast itself has been a really interesting experience. I really enjoyed it. I'm really happy I took that step to it, and just to test myself, just to see if I could even do it, and the benefits to come afterwards. So that's my take on it. If you are thinking about doing one yourself, really exercise caution. If you're on any type of medication, you definitely need to speak to your doctor before starting something like this. Really do your research if fasting is something that you want to attempt. It's not for everyone, and if you do decide to take on a fast, you will hear a lot of people that are interested and think that you're crazy. So be ready for that. um, that's about all I have to say about it. I do look forward to experiencing more and seeing how well I do with a more prolonged fast, and even with weight gain and muscle gain, see if it helps me in either of those aspects. So we'll see you next time.